Here we go, YouTube vintage stereo collectors and restorers. Haven't had one of these on my bench 6-7 years, maybe 8. Toshiba SA-400. I've had other Toshibas. This one belongs to a friend of mine. I'm just going to turn it on so you can see what a nice looking unit it is. It's got some LED lighting on the main dial, an incandescent there, and actually that balances out very nicely. Oh yeah, looks great. Just show you a little bit what's under the hood on this. This is 73 vintage. So there's the tuner right there. There's a couple of ICs on it at this point. One in the preamp phono circuit, and this one in the FM circuit. Looking over here, there's output ICs. These are early SDK type, although that was a specific brand, Sanyo. These are Toshiba ones, and Toshiba is a component maker, at least they used to be. This is basically the output stage on each channel. And this one here, I'm curious about because the last one I worked on, it had a bad one of these, and I could not source it anywhere. But these I believe have been worked on, and I'll tell you why. Rivets. I went back and looked at the picture. The other one I worked on, it had riveted covers. These have screws. Makes me think they were drilled out and repaired. And actually inside of each of these are actual transistors, resistors, caps. And they're on a board. So why didn't they just have the whole thing on a board? Well, of course, that's what they went back to. This was more a serviceability thing, doing it this way. They're getting to a lot of TV sets, and of course the space program. A lot of the things inside the space program were modular. You know, you swap out a board, send the other one back, it's tested, repaired. When I worked on the telephone exchanges, it was the same deal. Inside, you know, different. The older mechanical switches were individual wired relays and things like that. The digital switching, the Northern Telecom stuff, was all boards. And you know, if you did a diagnostic and there's a fault on the board and you got a trouble ticket, you changed the board, put it back on service, sent the board back to Northern Telecom, and they figured it out. But I noticed one time it was the same thing going, and they had bloated caps. I don't know if you remember that era of the bloating caps. They're bad caps in all kinds of stuff. I remember especially in what are those Nortel BCM series of switches. They're like telephone switches for use in a business. Multi-line phone system. Had a lot of trouble with caps on those. And you just sent the whole board back and got a new one. Anyway, I have started doing a little bit of work on this one. I took out, there were two of these, 2200 microfarad 35 volt. One is a little puffy, had a little bit of leakage. I was going to go a little bigger on these, and then I thought, I don't know, we got a pre-packaged rectifier bridge. There's actually two of them. I don't want it to turn it on with, you know, like a 4700 or 3300 and blow that. I think go with the actual. Sometimes you change your mind midstream on this stuff. I was going to go 3300, and I have the same cap. They're almost the same size. I just said, I don't know. I don't want to stress this one. I don't want to have to redo those modules. Anyway, this is a nicely made unit, and this one is in exceptional shape. You should see the wood sleeve. I'm just going to pause for a second and show you what's underneath the underneath. Alright, here we go. As you can see, it's a combination of point-to-point, good ALP switch gear, all stuff that can be easily sprayed and cleaned, except for the two-tone controls. You got to take the faceplate off. Might be able to reach them, a little tricky. I think I took the faceplate off in the last one, almost certain. There we go. There's the bottom of the output board where those two modules are. So I'm going to change those caps. Be very careful changing them. The two filters I changed, the tabs are bent on and soldered. I know sometimes it's easy. You know, you give them some desoldering and some wiggling. These are really crimped on. In fact, the one was cracked from the factory. So there's a little repair under there, but it looks good. Yeah, so I'm going to do that and try this out again. These actually sound really nice when everything's working, so thanks for watching.